What's up, guys? Want to talk today about my reaction to the Texas Ohio State game and then the two NFL playoff games for today. So, first, I want to touch on this Texas Ohio State game. The score was 28-14. It looked a lot closer than it was, um, but Ohio State dominated in this game. You could tell if you were watching the game, their their the reason why it was only 28 is because they had some bad penalties that were drive killers. But I mean, they they outgained Texas, um, and had dominated. Didn't dominate time possession, but um, the the real thing that I think was the difference. I think they should have put Arch Manning in the game. Um, way like I don't think they should have just used him for that one carry where he got that big first down. I think they should have used him more. I think they said on the broadcast that usually for games with Quinn Ewers it looks like it's slow, and in that game Quinn Ewers looked like he was constantly distressed, under pressure, all that. And then that big fumble in the end. I mean, that sealed their fate. I don't see Quinn Ewers if he doesn't declare for the draft, which I don't think he should. I don't see him coming back to Texas. One, just because of how they lost, and two, Archer Manning is ready and waiting, and that dude's gonna be a stud. So I don't think Texas fans brings him back. But now to the Ohio State side, by the way, my prediction was that Ohio State was going to win, and I think Ohio State's going to win the national championship. I don't know. I don't know because both Notre Dame and Ohio State have been hot, but I really do think Ohio State will win. I just they like Jeremiah Smith had one reception for 3 freaking yards, and Ohio State managed to win that game. And that if that doesn't show you how much talent this team has, I don't know what else can. Um, they have Travion Henderson, who had that big 75-yard screenplay at the end of the half. To that was also a big one. They had Carnell Tate go for seven receptions, 87 yards. Like they had other guys show up, and no one's talking about how deep and talented this team is. I think Notre Dame, it's really Riley Leonard and Jeremiah Love, and that's really it for for them. And then also Will Howard has been insane in the college football playoffs. He's turned the he's had 2 interceptions, um, to what 6 touchdowns, um, and he's been smart, and he's been that sort of like that difference maker. I think for Ohio State. I think he. I mean, we saw yesterday when Chip Kelly called that QB option. No one expected it, and he did it. And it would have been a touchdown if he didn't get eaten up by the turf monster. So, um, I do think Ohio State will win the national championship. Um, I don't know about how much. I want to say it's going to be a close game. Just that's my viewership. That's my interest. But I do think Ohio State will win the national championship. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Uh, Now I want to talk about specifically the Ravens and Steelers tonight, but also the Texans and Chargers. So I'll touch a little bit on the Chargers game. I do think it'll be a good game, but I think the Chargers will ultimately win. C.J. Stroud has had a turnover problem this whole year. Justin Herbert has only thrown 3 interceptions to 23 touchdowns this year. Dobbins is back. I mean, he missed I think 2 games, and he has 905 yards. Lad McConkey looks like the steal of the draft. So LA just, I mean, the only really thing that the Texans have going for them is it's in Houston. So I don't. That's really it. I think if the Texans go how CJ Stroud goes, if CJ Stroud turns the ball over, um, they're 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 gonna be in some trouble. Because once he starts, he just goes down. He just plummets like his whole game. And Herbert, I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over. I know he doesn't have a crazy amount of um, passing touchdowns, like only 23, but Stroud only has 20. And I would say that Caleb Williams this year was better than C.J. Stroud. Um, I know, I know their numbers are a little different. You know, C.J. Stroud has 12 interceptions, but Caleb has 3,500 yards or 541 yards. Stroud has 3,727. Caleb has 20 passing touchdowns. CJ has 20 passing touchdowns. Caleb has 6 interceptions. Stroud has 12 interceptions. Caleb's rating is an 87. CJ Stroud's a 50. So, I mean, the numbers back up my point. So, if you guys, I don't know how you can disagree with that. The numbers, I'm giving you guys numbers that back that claim up. But now that we talked about that game, I want to talk about the Ravens Chargers, or not the Ravens, or the Ravens Steelers. Um, Now Lamar has had a insane year. You know, I've talked about it before: 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, over 4,000 passing yards, and also rushed for 900 yards. Um, and their big thing though, Zay Flowers is not going to be playing, so that's gonna be big for them. But I still think I don't see how they don't win this game. They're home. They dominated the Steelers when they played them the second time at home. Um, Derrick Henry is that difference maker. And honestly, I think the Steelers should turn to Russell Wilson or should turn to Justin Fields if stuff gets bad. I think it's a must win. Obviously it's a must win game, and I feel like Fields provides a lot more than Russell Wilson does. Russell Wilson, he's older. He's not as mobile. I think I think Justin Fields, if you put him in this game, he he gives you guys a chance. I don't think Russell Wilson can can do it. And the issue with Fields has been turnovers since he's been in the league. He's always had turnover issues. In his 6 games, um, he threw 1 interception, and he didn't fumble the ball. Um, yeah, he didn't fumble the ball at all. So I, he's it looks like he's starting to fix um, that that fumble issue that he had. Well, I mean he had 4, but he didn't lose any of them. And the issue with him has always been losing the ball. And if you count his 5 rushing touchdowns, he's eclipsed for 10 touchdowns to 1 turnover because he didn't lose any fumbles. So then I would feel like they should put Justin Fields in this game if it gets scary, because Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson is already scary enough. And even though the Steelers have, you know, they have a consistently great defense, I don't think they win if they stay with Russell Wilson. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here, you know, talk to you guys a little bit about you know, my thoughts on some of the football stuff. But we'll see you guys in the next one.